Hello everyone, our today's topic is built-in functions in JavaScript. So let's start. Now first point is this function are also known as a global function. Why? Because this function which is called globally rather than object directly return their results to their caller. That means you don't have to create any object to call their function. Generally what is the scenario is that whenever you want to call a function you have to create object, and using object you can call any function, but these are global functions. That means you don't have to create object to utilize them. You can directly call them and it can directly return their results to their caller. So in this video session I'm going to cover a few global functions. These are evaluation, that is eval, is finite, is n that we have covered in our previous lecture, but still I will repeat it. Parse float, parse integer, number and string. Okay, these are the functions that I am going to cover in this video lecture. So let's see first of all evaluation, that is eval. Okay, so function name is eval. Now let's see the syntax of this function. Simple function name, and you just need to pass one argument of type string. So parameter that you have to pass is it should be string. Now this string, it represent a JavaScript expression, statement, sequence of statement. Now what does it mean? You just need to pass it in double quotation. That means it is not like that it should be like a programming with parallel only. It can be x+2, okay, but you have to pass it in double quotation. That's why it becomes string representation. It can be expression statement, sequence of statement. Okay, now this expression can include variables and properties of existing object also. Okay, now what this function return after its execution? So it returns evaluation of given code. If the completion value is empty, undefined is written. That means this function is just evaluate whatever the string you have passed in as an argument. Now let's see description of this function. This function is a property of a global object. The argument of this function is a string. If this string represent an expression, this function evaluate the expression, but over here we just pass our expression in as a string format. Okay, and this function just evaluate that string. If the argument represent one or more JavaScript statement, then this function evaluates the statement. Now one important thing to note down here is that do not call this function to evaluate arithmetic expression, because JavaScript evaluate arithmetic expression automatically. You don't need to call this function to evaluate any arithmetic expression. Okay, now there are a few examples that I have given. You can understand this concept very well using this. Let's say in this code snippet, variable x and y with their initial value 10 and 20, it is declared. Okay, now after that what I have done, what I am doing is that I have called for this function evaluate. Now this is our expression x multiplied by y. Okay, but it is in string representation. Okay, you can see that it is double quotation. Now if you just simply variable a is equals to in double quotation x into y, so it will treat as a string, but over here we have called evaluate function to this expression which is given as a parameter in string format. Okay, so what this function will return? This is 200. Okay, why? Because this is a string, that's why. After that, see this b. Okay, and same goes with this b variable b also. 2 plus 2, that is 4. Okay, after that variable c, which is evaluating x plus 17, but it is in string format. Okay, so that's why it is 27. Now if I just remove this double quotation from here, then what will happen? Do you know that? It just return whatever is passed as an argument. It just return itself. It will not evaluate it. Okay. Okay. Now let's see this. Over here, you can see that in this evaluation function, I have passed parameter as a new string in single quote 2 plus 2. Now, whenever I am just talking about this function, this parameter only, okay, new string 2 plus 2 in a single quote. So what does it mean? It will just return one string object, okay. Now, this evaluation functions have such protocols that it will just evaluate whenever you pass a string, but not a string object. That's why it will return a string object containing 2 plus 2 in double quote. That's okay. It is not itself a string, but it is this will return you. It is not a string, but this will return your string object. Okay, that's why it just directly return you a string, that is 2 plus 2. Now let's see this evaluation 2 plus 2 in single quote. This will return 4. Okay, but previous one will return 2 plus 2 in string format. So this is just a difference. Whenever you just be careful that for whatever you are passing as an argument, it should be string. So there is one rule. Not a rule, but just I can say observation, that if the argument of this function is not a string, then this function return the argument unchanged. Okay. Now is finite function. Okay. Let's see syntax. Is finite, that is function name, and you have to pass one parameter. Okay, and a parameter is a test value. That means you are applying some test conditions over there. So this value which is to be tested for its finiteness test. Okay, and return value, it will return Boolean kind of object, that is false if the argument is positive, negative, or infinity, or not a number, or undefined. Otherwise it will return true. Now this function, what does this function is that it just check for its finite state. If this value is finite, okay, then it will just return true. But if whatever you have passed as a parameter, it is positive or negative, infinite, or it is not a number, then it will just return you a false Boolean value. Okay, like that. Now let's see description of this function. You can use this function to determine whether a number is a finite number or not. This function examines the numbers in its argument. If the argument is not a number or a positive infinity or a negative infinity, this method return false. Otherwise it will return true. If this number is in finite state, it is not an infinity, or it is not a number, or it is not a undefined. Now let's see example of this. Okay, over here this is just a function that I have defined. Okay, and function is div, that means I am performing division operation. So this function is start. I want to mention clearly that whatever I am giving you in example form, it is in script tag. Okay, it is not in body section, but it is in whatever, because we are dealing with JavaScript. That's why it should be in script tag. Okay. Now in this function, first statement is if statement. Okay, now in if statement, as a argument I have passed is finite function with one argument, that is 100 divisible by x. Okay, and with this x is our parameter of this function. Now within this function, if this function returns true, then return number is not infinity. Otherwise it will return number is infinity. Okay, this function is complete, and now we are calling for this function. So console.log division, and in argument we are passing 0. So what will happen? We are over here, it is our function call. Okay, and this is our function definition. So 0 is passed over here. which is in x, and within this if statement this function is called is finite, and over here your x becomes 0. So 1000 divided by 0, that means it is infinity. So what is the output? It is infinity or not? Yeah, it is infinity. So this function will return false as return value. So this condition become false, that why it will return, it will print this statement, number is infinity. Okay, like that. But now if you call this function with argument 1, so what will happen? 1000 divided by 1, but obviously it is a finite state. Okay, finite state of number, that means this function will return true. So condition become true and this will return number is not finite. So this is as simple, very simple. After that, is and n, that is not a number function. In my previous lecture, if I have already described this function. Now let's just see example and how this function work. Let's see. This function determine whether a value is not a number or not. In previous state it was checking for numbers finiteness. Okay, now in this function we are checking for whether it is a number or not. Okay, so let's see example of it. Over here we are defining one function, that is millisecond. Okay, and in if statement we are calling for is and n, is not a number function, and passed this argument, this x as argument over here in this is and n function. Now if this written true, then it is not a number, otherwise it is written x multiplied by 1000. Okay, now is not a number, this function written true whenever this x is not a number. Okay, for example, if I am passing Parul, that means it is not number. That's so what does it mean? This function will return true. Okay, be careful about it. And if I am passing number, that means let's say 10. So this argument becomes this will return false. Okay, that's why this return x multiplied by 1000 will be returned as written by this function millisecond. Now let's see if I call this function with argument 100f. So what will happen? It is not a number because 100f is not a number. Okay, now let's see this 0.0314. It is represented in exponential form. Okay, so output is 3140. Now after that, parse integer function. Okay, let's see first of all syntax. Syntax is function name. Over here there are two arguments. First one is a string, and after that it is a radix. Now the second argument is optional. Okay, now let's see first argument. This argument, if this argument is not a string, then it is converted to 1 using the toString abstract operation. For example, if this first argument it is not a string, okay, it is kind of a number, let's say, then it is converted to the string using toString function. Now this second argument, which is optional, it can be integer between 2 and 36 that represent the radix of the string. Now this radix is nothing but a base value. For example, in our day-to-day life we are using a decimal radix. Okay, 10, base value is 10. So there are base like 2, 4, 16, 8. Okay, like that, these are the base value. So you can use any value between 2 and 36, and this written value is false. That means it will return your boolean value. It will return you false if the argument is positive, negative, or infinity, or not a number, or a undefined. Otherwise it will return true. So what will happen? It will return false if this argument is positive or negative or infinity or not a number or undefined. Otherwise it will return true. That means it will return you just integer value of particular past string. as a parameter, whatever you are passing it. Now description. Parse integer function converts its first argument to a string, parses that string and then return an integer or not a number. So it will take as argument string, then parse that string and then return integer value or not a number. While when this return not a number, there is a certain condition, then only it will return not a number. If not a number, the return value will be integer, that is the first argument taken as a number in the specified radix. For example, a radix of 10 converted from a decimal number, 8 converted from octal, and 16 from hexadecimal, and so on. Now this function will return NaN, that is not a number. It depends on its second argument also. If your radix is not convenient to whatever you have passed as a first argument, then also it can return you not a number. Now let's see example of it. Okay, we are just defining function. In this function I have defined one constant, parsed is equals to parsed integer x comma base, that is base value. Okay, and after that I am just checking for is NaN function, that means whether it is a number or not. Okay, if it is not a number, then return 0. If it is number, then parsed multiplied by 100. So now if I am calling this function with argument 0xf and base value is 16, okay, so what will return it? It will return 1500. So over why? Now there are you just need to remember few points to understand this function. Whenever in first argument, whenever there is a 0x something like that, okay, then it will treated as a base value of 16. If I just ignore this second argument, then also you will get return value as a 1500. Okay, because you are using 0x prefix followed by f. Okay, that's why. So it will return 1500, and obviously in hexadecimal code f means 15 in decimal. Okay, and after that if you call with 3 2 1 and with base value 2, then it will return 0 because it is not treating as number. After that, parse float. Let's see first of all syntax. Parse integer, and you just need to pass one parameter, one argument, that is kind of string. Okay, if this argument is not a string, then it is converted to string using toString abstract abstraction. After that, return value is false if the argument is positive, negative, or infinity, or it is NaN, that is not a number, or undefined. Otherwise it will return true, just like a previous one, parse integer return value. Okay, this function determine if the first character in the specified string is a number. If first character in the specified string is number, it parses the string until it reach to the end of the number and return the number as a number, not as a string. You are passing string, but it will just check for it and parse as a string, and it convert the string to number, and you will get that number in as a return value. If the first character cannot be converted to a number, then this function parse float, it will return not a number. Now let's see one example of it. Over here I have declared one variable a, and I have assigned parse float, and as an argument I have passed a 10. Okay, so obviously you can see that this number, when we convert this string can be converted to number. Okay, and this whatever that return is 10. In right side portion, whatever I have mentioned in comment section, it is expected outcome if I just print this variable a. After that b, okay, parse float 10.00. This is also 10. After that, parse float 10.33. This is 10.33. Parse float 34. 4566. Now whenever there is a space between 34 and 45, okay, so this space cannot be converted to number. That's why it will just go for that only, 34, and it will just return 34. After that, variable e parse float 60, and it will just return this value. After that, parse float 40 years, okay, and it will return 40. Now you can see that over here in last parse float calling, there is not a number, it is a character, okay, he was 14. Now this first character itself, it cannot be converted to number. That's why this function will return not a number. After that, let's see number function. Now this function convert different object to number, okay. This is just converting mechanism. Whenever you want to convert any object to number, you can use this function. Let's see example of it, okay. Over here I have declared few variable with x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 with some initial values, okay. Now but over here these values are of different object. For example, it is this false and true, that means it is a boolean type. This is date, this is string, this is also string, okay. Now I want to convert it into number. So what I have done is variable res is equals to, I have just converted these objects into number and summation of these numbers. So what will happen, not summation, it is a concatenation, okay. So in this variable I have called first of all number in argument passed x1. So what is x1? It is false, which is kind of boolean. So if this function will convert this false into boolean number, okay. So what will happen? This false is converted into a boolean number. So what is a number value which represents false? It is 0, okay. And what is a number value for a true as a boolean? That is 1, like that. And in last, document.write res, that means just I have written this variable res, okay. Now let's see output. Whenever I just write this document.write res, so what is value of res? It is like that, 0, 1. After that, whatever is there, new date, okay. So new date will return me a date kind of object, and whatever it is there, it is number format of this date object. After that, 999, that is 1 2 3 4 5, okay. So its value is 999. And this last function called number x5, over here this is 1 2 3 space 4 5, which is not converted into number. That's why it is returned not a number. After that, string function, just the opposite of a previous function that convert different object to string. In previous case we were converting object to number, okay, and over here we are converting object to string. So let's see. Over here, just like previous case, I have declared few variables with their initial value but kind of object. And over here you can see that this is boolean 0, boolean 1, new date, this is string, and this is a number, okay. Now in variable res, it is just a concatenation of these variables, but it is now converted in string using string function. And this variable I have passed as a argument. And if I print document.write, then what is the output is false, true, and this 3 line is output of string x3, which is kind of new date, okay. After that, 1 2 3 4 5, which is also a string, and 1 2 3 4 5, which is a number. So this is the output of this string function.